everybody, Migs from MigsTCG here. For those of you who are coming back, welcome back. And I also want to thank the new subscribers. Thank you very much for joining us. We are glad to have you here, and we hope that you find this channel entertaining, interesting, and you keep coming back for more. In a previous video, I talked about the upcoming meta and how some of the cards released in Photon Hypernova were gonna affect it. This past weekend, we actually got to see a little bit of that. With YCS Lyon having taken place, we saw how powerful Tearlament's Kashtira could be. Congratulations to Christopher LeBlanc, who ended up winning the YCS in Lyon, France, using Tearlament's Kashtira and the Shizu package in there as well. I think we all know now that the reason why, Konami ended up banning some of these cards and limiting all the others, it's because it is the best deck around, and it made it a little bit unfair, a little bit not fun to play against. It was the big bad in the room, and everybody knew that that was either the one who was going to win or that was the one to beat. This previous weekend, YCS Mexico, or Team YCS Mexico also took place, and it was taken down by a personal acquaintance, Mr. Walter Jewell. Congratulations, Walter Jewell and Team Donald Fan Club. Kashtira Tier took it down, and the deck was amazing. It feels almost like the previous weekend it was the last hurrah for Tearlaments. Now that the new ban list is in effect, they're not going to be as powerful, but they're still going to be around. So with the upcoming Team YCS in Vegas, we all got to be careful. Don't let your guard down, because they're not out just yet. They are down, but they're not out. With the new cards having come out and Kashtira now being at full power, we were able to see that there was a lot of representation in both YCSs for Kashtira, but it wasn't great. They were not as strong as people predicted, or maybe they were really prepared for them already. And Kashtira was able to top, I think, with 30% representation at Lyon, but they weren't able to actually win. And right now, Kashtira feels extremely fair. Everybody who knows how to deal with Kashtira should have something already in their side deck and prepared and ready for them. So it's going to be up to the players now to come up with a strategy, or even splash a engine or two to make it less predictable. I have been watching some players splash in the adventure package, and it's a very good package because everybody knows that Kashtira has no negates, and even though they are quite strong, their board ends with no negates. So once you start picking apart their board, it will fall easily. With the ban list having come out unexpectedly and Tearlaments being hit so hard, we have to kind of analyze and think, are they out yet? In my opinion, no, they're not. They have been severely hurt, but they're not out just yet. Tearlaments actually still has quite a few cards they can play, and even with the banning of Kid Kalos, they can just sub in cards like King of the Swamp, and they're able to circumvent going into the Kid Kalos and just go straight into the Rulukaros. That doesn't mean that they're still going to see the same amount of play. It just means that they are still going to be out there, and they can still form something from there. Like I said, for Kashtira, Tearlaments is very strong, and they can still be splashed into other archetypes, like with Albaz. I know some people are also doing archetypes such as the El Shadal, and those are pretty strong options for them. So now it's up to the players. Let's see what they make. It'll be interesting though, that's for sure. For Fluanderies, having lost Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds and the previous ban list, I feel like they're still going to be strong, not as strong though, because it was a good option for them to stop their opponents from being able to special summon, and they had quick access to it. But now that that's gone, it feels like they're more fair, but also a little bit weaker. Not only are they still going to see play, they won't see play to that level, but they will add some other cards in there just to hit you a little bit harder. So I feel it's a balanced deck at the moment. It's still easy to use, self-explanatory. Everybody knows what they're gonna do. Now it's just, yeah, will they play it? And we also have to keep in mind the fact that the same things that are able to hit a Kashira board are also able to hit the Fluanderies board. You want to make sure that you don't get caught in the crossfire for Kashira. You don't want to be able to allow your opponent to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, haha, pun intended, when they're prepared for a deck that is very strong and can banish a lot, whereas Fluanderies is the same thing. So be careful not to get caught in those traps. As for Albaz, Allure, and Pals, they actually got a little bit of support in Photon Hypernova. They're not gonna get full force just yet. They are getting great cards coming up in the next set in May, I believe. Right now, they are being looked at as a really good either tier 2 or rogue strategy. Even though they are still at full power, they are very strong, and they haven't got hit on the ban list just yet. So we might be able to see some more play for Albaz and friends. I feel like they're pretty strong, and if we're not careful, we will lose our matches to them. Having seen YCS Lyon and YCS Mexico, I'm very excited to actually see Ninja. I know it's a very rogue deck at the moment. They did get a lot more support in Photon Hypernova as well as Dark Green Blast, and I really want to see what the deck can do. I'm actually very excited to see that at the YCS in Vegas. I hope that I can play against somebody with Ninja. I feel like that would be kind of fun. In fact, I'm already starting to build my own Ninja deck, and if you like a profile or even help me build it, we can build this together. Just leave a comment down below and let me know what cards would you play in the Ninja deck. In the meantime, we're all excited to see what's going to happen at the Vegas Team YCS. We hope to see what tops, what doesn't, and what new strategy comes out on top. But that's all I have for now. Don't forget, my friends, Saturday at 7. See you then.